So is anyone combining in psych?
Maybe.
Maybe a couple? Okay, because my thesis is directly related to how, like, I'm combining in psychology. The ballot, it's a weird system, it's a ballot system for finding your prof, so you can start looking now and asking people if they want to be your thesis supervisor, and then you meet with them and, like, you kind of have to come to an agreement that you're both going to put each other as #1 on the ballot system, so that when it goes through, you get that supervisor.
Yeah. Is that kind for internal and external?
Yes, I believe so. Yes. And it opens at the beginning of January, but you have until like February, early February to make the decisions. You have just less than a month to find your supervisor. I don't know how it works in other combined programs, but in psychology you don't have to do a thesis. You can take a seminar course instead, or you can do an art-sci thesis. I don't know anything in art-sci thesis. If you're combining in psych, yeah, you can do an art-sci thesis. Because there aren't really that many necessary credits that you have to take for psychology, you have enough room to take a thesis if you'd like to. I don't know, the thesis is a really good experience. My supervisor is the person I did my lab course with. In the third year you have to take the psych lab course, and I just asked him if he wanted to supervise me for a thesis, and he decided to do it, so that's how I got into my lab. There are lots of different ways you can do a thesis in psychology as well. You can work in a lab doing studies as a grad student, or you can work downtown, like Aries doing a thesis downtown in the Clinical Brain Injury Center, which is really interesting.
Who is?
Aries Lau.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she's in psychology, combining as well. Jesse Ashbourne's supervisor is Dr. Daly. I know a couple of you are in evolution, and she's running her own study like outside of the lab, but he's supervising her. So it's more kind of like the way our psych thesis would run. She picked her own topic, and she's doing her own research, and then she's just supervising, making sure she stays on track.
Did you have to get approval by the new research ethics board for your thesis?
How
did that work?
I didn't have to because I was in a lab. A lot of the psychology labs have blanket ethics approval. That's just something that if you're interested in knowing, you should ask the potential supervisor when you interview with them.
The person who's working with Dr. Daly, are they doing like actual original research, or are they like doing researching other papers?
She's doing a survey.
Okay.
So it's based on, it's like criminals and violence and something like that. So like based kind of on Dr. Daly's research,
right.
But she's got a whole bunch of hypotheses of her own, and she's just running a survey to see if her hypotheses are correct. And I don't really have a lot of general thesis knowledge. I wasn't going to do a thesis because I didn't have to, but then right like at the last minute decided it would probably be a good idea because just like the experience, it's worthwhile. It's kind of decide if that's something you're interested in.
So when did you precisely contact the prof that you wanted to work with?
When did I contact him? Well, because I had from January 19th until February 9th to make the decision. I think I contacted him like February 2nd.
Okay.
And I met with him the next day.
But you'd worked with him before in your lab course?
Yeah, so he knew who I was, and I was in his class at that time, so it wasn't really hard for me to get in touch with him. I did also email a couple people last minute just to see if like anyone would be interested in taking me on, and I didn't get any responses.
Okay.
So
that's
I recommend, if you want to do it with someone that you don't know, start looking earlier. Yeah, like January. Yeah. Any questions for me?
Wait, so you have to take the 4D06 course?
You can take the you don't have to. You can take the 4D06 course or the 4D09 course.
And which one are you in?
I'm in the 4D09.
But do you know if there's a difference between like Aries doing something more clinical than you? Is he in the 4D06 or is he in the 4D09?
I'm not sure which one she's in actually. I don't know how they decide. Like when I met with my professor, he just said, okay, well, you'll be doing a 9-unit honors thesis, and I was okay. So I'm not sure.
What classes are required for your like thesis? Was it like a research method or something like that?
Was there a course that's required?
Yeah.
Like a prerequisite to
Yeah.
finish my thesis? No, but my supervisor only has 4 undergrad students in his lab, and all of them were in his lab course last year. So it's a human memory and cognition lab, and we all took the human memory and cognition lab course, so he knows that we have the right experience. So that kind of helps. So it helps if you're taking courses that you're interested in, because then you get to know that professor, and then you can pursue them. Yeah.